I'm Elizabeth Ruiz on the scene on Channel 15 Catholic Television of San Antonio. And right now we are inside the Jackson Auditorium at Texas Lutheran University in Seguin, Texas, where the legendary actress and singer and dancer Rita Moreno is going to speak to these audience members about her book, her memoirs, and what a story she has to tell. She's 86 years old now. Her career spans more than 70 years, and right now she is part of a terrific television show on Netflix. It's called One Day at a Time, and I know that title may sound familiar to some of you who will remember that wonderful program from the 70s and 80s. Well, this is a remake with a Cuban family, and Rita Moreno plays the grandma, a devout Catholic grandmother, and I know you will enjoy the parts where she talks about Catholicism. It is a very good TV series on Netflix, but she's also going to talk to some students. She got very personal with these youngsters, these drama students and choir students at TLU, and she shared some valuable information with them about lessons she has learned. And I know one of the things that surprised me the most was that a woman with such talent was doubting herself and had a problem with self-esteem, and it was so bad she had to see a psychotherapist for 8.5 years. So she talked to the students about that. And also, after winning that Oscar for West Side Story, she didn't accept another film role for 7 years. She talked to the students about that problem too. She said because Hollywood was stereotyping her. After she played Anita in West Side Story about gangs, it was a beautiful musical. Those are the only types of roles she was offered, and she wanted something more. So you'll hear the good and the bad. It's all wonderful with our legendary Rita Moreno. And with me is Deb Mays. She is the accompanist for the choir here at Texas Lutheran University. What an awesome job, but it's very difficult too.
Oh, difficult but fun. I enjoy being here. I love playing for the kids, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And how excited are you to see Rita Moreno?
Very excited. I got the score for West Side Story when I was 12, never thinking I would get to meet her, but and I got to music direct the show back in the 90s at Alamo City Theater. So it's a very great show.
And here we are. You are ready to meet her.
Ready to have her sign my score.
Oh, she'll be so pleased to do that. But you've had that since you were 12 years old.
I won't tell you how many years that's been, but it's been a few.
I said, "What's wrong?" She says, "I don't want them to watch me making mistakes." Now, that's a very, very, very insecure actress. And she's a marvelous actress, by the way. What happens with people like that is they are so fragile that if almost anything goes wrong, they lash out at people. They don't go to their dressing room and cry and feel bad. They feel bad, but they do the wrong things, and that's what you're talking about. It goes to your head that you're working and you're getting paid, so you should be paid some respect. And if they feel disrespected, they're very difficult people to work with. And there's nothing you as a co-performer can do for them, because that's a problem that needs the help of a therapist. But there are many of us Latinos around like this with enormous insecurities because of the way we've had to live our lives. I was in therapy for 8.5 years for that very reason, that I felt so without value and so worthless. And I sometimes think, and why did I go on? That's what I call perseverance. I went through some terrible times, and I thought very little of myself. So it's just something you have to recognize, and when you recognize it in yourself, go get some help, if you can afford it. That's not cheap. But I did that for 8.5 years. I saw a therapist. Because they were cliche. Why you no lavula no more, junkie pig? What kind of talent did that take? I couldn't afford to then. That was the problem, and that's what made me such an unhappy Puerto Rican girl. And that's what eventually led me to psychotherapy, because I was so fragile. You know, I could end up in tears any second because I thought I had been disrespected, and sometimes I wasn't, but I saw it that way, like this actress I just talked about. And there were constant compromises. If I wanted to be movies, that's the kind of movies I had to make then. And I think the reason I persevered is that I thought to myself, I know I have talent, and I'm hopeful that one day, one person will see me and say, you have talent, and let me do something for you. I believed that. And that's why the perseverance took place, because I thought, I have to hang on. This can't be this way for all of my life. And ultimately it wasn't, but it took a long time. Let me tell you that after I did West Side Story, and I got the Oscar, and I got the Golden Globe, I didn't do a movie again for 7 years. 7 years. Why? Because the only thing I was offered after that, after those wonderful awards, I was offered more gang movie things on a much lesser scale. And that's when you really have to be strong. I mean, my heart was broken. When I got that Oscar, oh man, and I got that Golden Globe, I thought, my career is made. On the contrary, it almost worked against me. It's crazy. It's a really tough business, and you better be strong or get out. You've got to be really strong.
Channel 15 at Texas Lutheran University with the legendary Rita Moreno. I can't believe we are here with you and you're on Catholic television with us. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm delighted to be here.
Tell me why you are speaking here at Texas Lutheran University.
Well, I'm just talking about my life, and I do that in all kinds of places, sometimes universities, sometimes lecture halls.
And you just spoke to students, and what a thrill it was, and you shared just such valuable information with them. She talked to the drama students, and you'll see some of them as well, and you gave them such wonderful tips, information that they're getting from someone who has won an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy, Golden Globe, a Tony, Oscar and Tony, the two most important men.
The Kennedy Center honors also.
And yes, the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the National Medal of Arts.
And Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yes, so much. But I wanted to ask you why you think that after all these years, because you got an Oscar back in the 60s, yeah, the first Latina, and there hasn't been another to win an Oscar.
There haven't been the roles. People think about this in a kind of backwards way. And Viola Davis said it beautifully when she got her first, I think it was for one of her TV shows. And she said, I just want to remind you that you can't be nominated if you don't have the roles. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting those acting roles that will demand attention from the theatrical or the television community. You have to have the scripts and the roles.
Why do you think there aren't the roles for Latina women?
Well, you know, first of all, I look forward to the day when it doesn't have to be a Latina woman playing a Latina woman. She can be playing an attorney for somebody. I remember, who was that? Raul Julia. Remember him? A great actor on the screen. And he played a lawyer for the leading man who was a big, big star. And his name was actually Sandy. He played a man named Sandy. And he had the accent, because he always had an accent. But he played this wonderful role in a movie which had nothing to do with being Latino. He was an actor playing a role. That's what I look forward to seeing someday. I mean, why do we always have to be in a slot? We are part of America. No?
Right. Yes, you're so right. And your career has spanned decades.
Yeah.
What is your secret? Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but she is 86 years old. And I'm saying that because she told the students that. You look incredible. You're still touring. You're acting. You've got a terrific show on Netflix we're going to be talking about. But what is your secret? How can you keep going?
I really think that's something that's you're born with. I honestly do. It's in my DNA. I was dancing and singing from the time I was 3-4 years old, dancing for Grandpa in Puerto Rico. And when I came to America, I started to take dance class. It happened to be Spanish dance. So
Flamenco?
Flamenco, yes, flamenco, and I still play castanets.
Ole! How about that? Boy, I wish we had brought some castanets for you to play for us. But we want to talk about your show now on Netflix, which is terrific. It is hilarious, but then it also has some serious moments. And the reason we really, really wanted to talk to you is because you play a devout Catholic grandmother.
Why did you take one for the team?
Ay, por el amor de Dios, it is so hot.
All right, mommy, let's do the wave.
Okay.
Woo! Nope. Boo. Okay, let's eat. Mami, comida.
Okay, the rice and the frijoles are in the pickle jar. And the lechon is in the butter tub. And the cookies are in the cookie tin, but they're not the same cookies that came with the tin. I'm an actress. That's what I do. If I was asked to be a Jewish in old Israel, I could do that. I would learn the accent and do it. That's what actors do.
Well, you're also a diva in this show. You're the grandma in this, actually a Cuban family.
That's right. It's all about a Cuban. This is a redo of One Day at a Time. I don't think we've even mentioned the name till now. It's One Day at a Time, which had a 9-year history on CBS television. Now we're doing it for Netflix as a Cuban family. And it's having an enormous, enormous success. And my part is kind of a scene-stealing part because she is a diva. She's full of drama and theater. She's very vain. And she's just shameless. I love playing her.
And you do get all the laughs, I think. Well, the biggest laughs anyway. You've got great punchlines.
Well, I get some goodies. And the thing is that it's now it's streaming. The second season is streaming. And so, of course, is the first season. But it starts this Friday. And I hope people will tune in. It's a sensational show. It's not just for Latinos. It's about a family who also happens to be a Cuban-American family.
This is so good. Did you help cook this, Doc?
As a matter of fact, I did. Your mom and I, we work well together. We're like 2 peas in a pod.
Yes, it was fun. It was like cooking with one of my sisters.
Just the comparison I was hoping for.
I wish I could cook, but...
Oh, no, you're too busy being a real man.
And Norman Lear is still the producer.
He's still the producer of the very show he produced 100 years ago. And, he did All in the Family. He's 95. He's 95, and he still comes to the studio and is very involved. When it comes to detecting romance, I am like Cousin Orencio at the beach with his metal detector. But I have to tell you that the audience adores Lydia. And they love all that stuff about it. Well, Lydia's Catholic when it's convenient also. She is devout, but she's also extra Catholic when it's convenient.
Thank you so much for being with us. And I'm going to enjoy your lecture in just a few moments. And God bless you for doing all of this and sharing your talent and your information with these youngsters.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us on Catholic Television of San Antonio, Channel 15. For this wonderful program, I hope you enjoyed it. Rita Moreno, the legendary actress, singer, and dancer. And now she has a book, her memoirs, and it's titled Rita Moreno, memoirs. It's available in English and Spanish, so if you'd like to pick up a copy, you can learn more about her. Thanks again to Texas Lutheran University. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz, on the scene on Channel 15 Catholic Television of San Antonio. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz, on the scene on Channel 15, and how exciting tonight. We are at the Convention Center in downtown San Antonio for the Hope for the Future Khaki and Plaid Gala, where a new homecoming king and queen will be announced tonight. It all depends on who raises the most money, but look, we've got royalty all the way from England here. You think Queen Elizabeth will say a few words? How excited are you to be here tonight? That's pretty exciting. Thank you. Not saying much, but okay. Let's see, Prince Philip. Would Prince Philip say anything? Not very talkative, but that's okay. We'll find plenty of people to interview, so stay with us on the scene on Channel 15. Hope for the Future Khaki and Plaid Gala. I found some khaki and plaid people walking around here tonight. They go to Catholic school. Wonderful. This is Angela, Madison, and Austin. And Austin, what is your job tonight?
We're here to make sure everyone enjoys their night, make sure everyone signs in well, and make sure everyone sees everything that's here to offer for them, and really contribute to the hope for the future.
So whatever anybody needs. And Angela, have you been helped by Hope for the Future?
Yes, I have. Every year, my sister and I, we receive help from Hope for the Future.
And so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the money from tonight's gala and from your donations are going, is to help youngsters like this get a Catholic education. So Angela, that's wonderful. And Madison, what is the importance of a Catholic education to you?
I think the importance of a Catholic education is really to grow your faith in God and also extend your education. Sorry?
Well, thank you. The Hope for the Future right here. And the co-chairs of the Khaki and Plaid Gala tonight are Diana Barrios Trevino from the Barrios Trevino restaurant family and her husband, Roland Trevino. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
And tell us why this is so important to you, Roland.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's, you know what, it's just a big family collaborative effort to be able to participate in this event, to chair this event, and bring our whole family. And you know what, we have a big family because it extends to our, not only our family, to our friends, so many people that have helped us put this event on to help us raise money for tuition assistance.
And you know what? Diana Barrios Trevino was the queen a few years ago, so congratulations. And the queen and her court are selected by the people who raise the most money, right?
That's right, that's right. So if you want to be homecoming king or queen, all you have to do is number one, nominate yourself. Two, get nominated and accept the invitation. And then whoever raises the most money, that's who walks away with the with the crown.
With the crown. And when she wore the crown, was she difficult to deal with?
No, the crown fit her perfectly.
Oh,
that's great.
I'm the mother of 3 boys, okay, so.
So she was a queen. She's always a queen. So.
She's always a queen. La Reina. Now tell us about this.
So these are just a little memento for our committee members who have worked so hard. We've worked for almost a year to put this event on, and we've worked very hard. And so if you see someone walking around with this crown tonight, you'll know that they have been a member of a committee that has worked very hard to raise some wonderful funds and to break some records, because that's what we're going to do tonight.
Now, who are the homecoming queen and king tonight?
Well, I don't know. It's like
surprise.
the Academy Awards. When they open that envelope, that's when we'll know.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, the suspense. Oh,
It is very suspenseful because
People ask us all the time, but it's like the Academy Awards. We won't know until the end of the night.
That's right. It's going to be great, though, because they've raised a lot of money collectively. Have raised a lot of money, and it's for the children. So that's what we want. It's exciting.
A lot of money they've been raising for a very good cause. Hope for the future. Thank you.
We're going to make it $1 million tonight.
That's right.
We're going to make it $1 million.
It's Archbishop. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being with us here.
I'm so happy to be here. This is a joyful and fun celebration, and all with the purpose to help Catholic schools.
I know, it's such a wonderful thing because we have so many needy families who can't afford to send their children to Catholic school. So this is a wonderful event.
Yes, and so what we hope is at least to add tuition for 500 more kids tonight.
Wonderful,
That's
Archbishop.
magnificent. And when you see the families and the parents, they want the best for them, and they want to have them in Catholic schools, and so we are going to help them tonight.
And tell us why a Catholic education is so important.
Well, Catholic education is important because it's one way to be consistent with the faith that the parents instill in their kids. So also outside the home, they will be able to celebrate their faith, to relate to the Lord, to relate to others from our Catholic perspective. And as we know, we have 100% graduation, which is, I mean, what else we can ask for it?
100% graduation.
Graduation rate, right. And then also all the program about counseling, having a personal relationship with each one of the children, and to be able to help them to pull through. And all of us, we know what it is to struggle with life. Well, the little ones, they struggle too.
And how wonderful to have Mass every day.
Right. They can have Mass as often as the school provides, but it's wonderful, the sacraments, confession, and the relationship between the teachers with the students and the parents with the teachers and the principal is a healthy environment.
Look who's here, Tony Plana, one of the honorary chairs for tonight's event. Actor Tony Plana, thank you so much for being here.
So excited to be here.
Oh my
Anything
gosh.
I can do to help the Catholic Church, and especially Catholic education, I'm there. I mean, they literally saved my life and those of my brothers and my parents, and it's a very emotional connection that I have with all of this and what's going on here.
And you say saved your life and the life of your brothers. Was that because you came from Havana, Cuba?
Yes, I was born in Cuba and I left Havana in 1960 with my mother and my brother. And then my father came later, so his resignation from his job wouldn't put us in jeopardy. But the main reason they left is because the communist government had declared that children no longer belong to their parents. They belong to the state, and they would be educated accordingly, without any kind of mention or recognition of God. And so my parents said that's just not acceptable. And so we really came here like all those people on the Mayflower for religious freedom. And exile was hard, but our landing, we're so grateful because our landing was softened so much by the Catholic Church.
They helped you once you got
Oh
here.
my Lord! St. Michael's Parish in Miami, and then St. Augustine's Parish in Culver City. The nuns of the Sisters of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph found us housing, gave us food, clothing. They gave us a free education, elementary school, free uniforms, free books, lunch every day. My mother would go to the convent and clean and cook for them as an exchange for everything they gave us. And so, I mean, when I said they saved our lives, I'm being literal about it. And we owe a lot to them. And what it did for us is that connection reinforced our Catholic faith and gave us strength to make it through the exile and succeed in this country. And I'm a prime example. That education and that support is what kept us alive kept us believing, and it ultimately led to our success.
And that's why we're here tonight, to help students who cannot afford to go to
Example of that. No, exactly. And then they orchestrated a scholarship at Loyola High School in Los Angeles, and from there a scholarship to Loyola Marymount University. And from there, I was accepted to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. I mean, it's just one gift after another. And so, at this time in my life, one of my passions and main priorities, is to be able to create programs for children like me, in the arts, who were saved not just by the Catholic Church, but by the Catholic education and the encouragement to follow the artistic talents that I was born with.
And what a wonderful testimony you are for Catholicism too. This is a man who has been on television. He's been in movies. Right now, Madam Secretary and Rita Moreno. The Punisher.
On Netflix.
And also on Netflix.
It's not biblical.
No. One Day at a Time with Rita Moreno.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we just recently interviewed her.
Yeah.
So he continues to work in these acting roles and still supports Catholicism and still leans on his faith.
Yeah, I believe in it. And it's one of the reasons I'm here. I'm trying to bring these art programs that I've created in Los Angeles, bring them here to San Antonio for kids like me, where, the challenges of growing up poor, growing up, of a different culture or a different language, just like I did, is extremely transformed, by the experience of the arts. It heals you, and it empowers you, gives you confidence. It gives you communication skills that are so necessary to succeed in school and in life, in work and in life. And I really would like to do that. I've become quite connected to San Antonio for many reasons, and especially University of Texas San Antonio and their educational efforts there. And so, I'm here to see if we can bring those kinds of programs to San Antonio Archdiocese. And I'm trying to raise some money here tonight for those programs.
That's right. And you're always welcome on Catholic Television of San Antonio. What a blessing. Thank you so much.
Blessings to you.
Look who we found, Tony Plana's wife, Ada Maris, right here. Oh, what a fabulous actress. And thank you so much for being with us. She's also an honorary co-chair.
Yes, we're very happy to be here.
Have you been to San Antonio before?
I love San Antonio. We come here for our anniversary. A couple times we've been here. We love it.
About that, and we love to hear that here in San Antonio too.
So in New York, there's no Mexican food, so there's no good Mexican food. So we have to come here, right?
We have the best, so you'll keep coming back, right? Yeah. I know some people recognize her from the Star Trek TV series. She was Captain Erica Hernandez, the Brothers Garcia, where she was the mom, and then also Nurses.
That's right. That's right.
Tell me, what are you working on now? What lies in the future for you?
Well, I'm spending a lot of time writing in New York. I really enjoy that, and yeah.
What kind of writing?
I write short stories and essays. So, about my life as an actress, about being the first Latina in space and all that stuff.
The first Latina in space?
Yeah.
Great. And I did hear you talk somewhere, I'm not sure where it was, but the title was Ay, Ay, Ay.
Oh, yes, that's one of my pieces that I wrote and I performed in New York. It's called Ay, 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 Ay. It's about being a Mexican mother. How you think you're going to be so different from your own mother, but you end up being so much worse. Right?
But worse is better.
Worse is better. Right.
Thank you so much, Ada Maris, for being with us on Catholic Television of San Antonio.
Thank you.
Pope Francis, and he looks so happy to be here at the Khaki and Plaid Gala, raising money for Hope for the Future. What a worthy cause. Thank you so much for being with us, and congratulations again to the homecoming king and queen this year for the Khaki and Plaid Gala. If you missed it, you can still make a donation by going on the website, Hope for the Future. I am Elizabeth Ruiz, on the scene on Catholic Television, television that inspires.